is up? Welcome to Stat Guy Show, episode number 25. Tonight's guest is the guy who has the fastest GTR in the world, John Odom. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Nice to see you all. Have a great day. What's going on?
Hey, John. So I wasn't sure earlier how I was going to title my post. I didn't know if I was going to put the guy with the fastest GTR or the hottest guy in Street Outlaws. What did I see? What did I see earlier? I saw a post, something about that. Talk about that. What was that?
I don't know. Somebody sent me a post last night about the hottest guy in Street Outlaws. I'm like, how in the hell did I win that over Ryan Martin? I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, he's gorgeous, right? So I don't know. But some lady thinks that I'm hottest guy in Street Outlaws, so I'll definitely take it. So I was very grateful for that. So that's pretty cool.
But I got a lot of shit and a lot of comments for saying you have the fastest GTR in the world. So, And I've heard you say that. I got that from you. So explain to everybody why that is. Why is it the fastest GTR in the world?
So it just depends on, you got your purists, right? The purist guys think that it's got to have an original GTR motor. It doesn't matter what else is in it. And then you got the guys that think it doesn't matter. As long as you have the body, steel roof, quarter panels, it doesn't really matter. So, for us, it's a little bit of drama either way, right? So no matter, every time we post it, you get a lot of, haters are my favorite people, right? Especially on Instagram. And, we post the world's fastest GTR and you get a million comments about how it's not the world's fastest GTR, how this and that. And every one of the people that comment like you, right? And up it goes, right? So haters are my favorite people. But, the purists believe that if it doesn't have a, original motor, then it's not a GTR. And then, some of the people believe as long as it's got a VIN number and some stuff. So, we've kind of taken it and ran with it. And it's, it's been popular on the internet. So we keep doing it as long as it's popular, I guess. Let's go with that.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of the GTR, you've been doing some testing. Will there be more testing yet before the season starts?
Yeah, Jim's been testing a lot. I think he's got some more testing before the season start. As you know, they changed our tire size. They took our blower, overdrive away a little bit, went from 98 to 92, and got some weight. A few things have changed, and so we feel like the car's running really well. We feel like we've made some stupid fast passes. I know Jim's made some really fast passes in that car. When we overlay that data for some of the passes we made last year with the 36 tire and the 98 overdrive, we feel like we're right there. So, Jim's worked really hard this year on putting together a program to be as fast or faster, even with the rule changes. And we feel like we're there. So we're very excited.
Yeah, and talk about the rule changes. The biggest one, in my opinion, was the 34.5-inch tire for a lot of the guys who ran 36s the last few years. What are your thoughts about going to the 34.5-inch tire, and how's that going to affect you guys?
Yeah, I'm blower cars make their power in the first 300 feet, which that, right? So, putting that smaller tire is going to be a little bit harder on us. But, Jim Howe's probably one of the best in the business at blowers. And he's worked really hard at putting the right ratios together on the rear ends, on the synchros, on the tranny, to try to keep that speed in the first 300 feet. And so, as we don't make the power down like blower cars do or turbo cars do. So we have to make sure that our first 300 feet in the program is epic, and Jim's done a really good job at that. And so far, when we overlay the tracks of, the test runs he's done compared to what we ran last year against some of the people in the certain races, we feel like we're right there.
Nice. I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you'll do some testing, but will you do any other no prep events besides No Prep Kings before the season starts?
Oh, I don't know. I think there's been rumor of us doing one somewhere, but I haven't really talked to Jim about that. I know the cars are ready to go. I think that there may be an option to do that, so that would be cool, but I'm not sure exactly if we're doing one race for the June 2nd race.
Is there any advantage to doing an actual event instead of testing before No Prep Kings?
Yeah, I mean, we always test, right? And we know where our cars are at. But the cool thing about doing an event is before the season, depending on who shows up, is to kind of match up where those guys are, right? Everybody had a rule change. So, are those guys spending the time putting a program together that they're going to run as fast as they did last year? Or are they just going to make the changes and see where the car pans out? And if that's the case, we feel like we've got a very big leg up on that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's talk about No Prep Kings season 6 coming up here.
Yeah.
I've seen you posting a lot about some possible changes with the format, and without getting into too many details,
Well,
What are your thoughts?
we're a little vague on that too. We hear there's going to be some captains. The teams are not going to be the same. So, I haven't seen Discovery post identically of what it's going to be, but we have an idea, and I think it's going to make for a bunch of drama, right? So,
For sure.
we can talk about like, and of course, I don't know exactly who the captains are going to be, but there's the top 10 guys, and everybody knows, right? And so let's say that, let's say Jim Howe or me get put on a team on a guy that's not very fast, and you're going to be frustrated at that. You're going to be, if you go out and do as best as you can, and you haven't spent the summer testing or the winter testing and putting the time into your program, and then somebody else has, there's going to be a little bit of animosity. It would be like, you go out and start losing first round, and you're like, hey guys, come on. This is a team effort now. It's $250,000. I do know that. Like, it's a big deal. So I think it's going to cause for some drama and some animosity for the guys that have really put the time and effort in, and some other guys that, may are just hanging out and trying to figure out, we'll make a few changes and we'll go out there and run. I mean, you guys watched us put 2 state-of-the-art cars into play last year, right? I started the 2nd race of the year, and Jim started the 5th race. And it wasn't until the last 3 or 4 races that you guys seen us really start figuring out the program, getting very fast, getting to where we needed to be. So, a lot of these guys with new cars and new programs, I know everybody's talking about that new M7 motor and all this stuff, right? Well, that's not the only motor that's come out. I mean, those guys, they got that in, no prep too, and they got that in Pro Mod too, right? I don't see anybody with, Pro Line motors running away with nothing. So, it's not just because you got a new motor and a new setup doesn't mean you got to test. You can't test and not figure it out. So we put in the time. Jim's put in the testing. We've spent a lot of time on this program trying to be, number 1, top 5 this year.
Yeah, for sure. I would expect those expectations out of you guys.
Yeah, we hope so.
And if it goes that way and they do different teams and draft, have you thought about how it affect if you and Jim were not on the same team?
I'll be honest with you. I think that's one of the reasons they're doing it. We got pretty fast last year at the end, right? And so, you split me and Jim up. You split some of the great guys in the 405 up. Ryan's amazing. Jeff's amazing. There's some really good guys in the 405, Daddy Dave, right? So now you split that up. That means a whole new dynamic. You split me and Jim up. That's a whole new dynamic. You know what I mean? You split Kai Kelly and Scott Taylor and some of those guys up on NOLA. So, I think it's going to make for some great TV. And I think it's going to, me and Jim's deal when we started this, no matter what car goes to the line, I mean, it's a Howe Motorsports Hemi in that car, right? It's Howe Motorsports program. Like Jim says, it doesn't matter if Jim's at the line or I'm at the line. That's our program. And so we want the best out of each car. So, Jim's always tells me the tune-up we ran prior, if I'm running Jim, and he lets me make the decision on moving forward. And if I win or lose, like, most of the time we ran last year, it was by a couple inches when you look at the finish line. So those cars are really close. And we've worked on the motor program really hard this year, and we feel like we've, you guys would know. I mean, we were at Texas 2K. We made some stupid fast passes. Like, they posted that shit, right? Did we want them to post them? No. But, I mean, we're running 370s with, at weight with a smaller tire and, the blower turned down. So that's an attribute to Jim and our program of how fast these cars are running.
Mm-hmm. And talk about, speaking of Jim, talk about your relationship and how it's grown since you first encountered Jim. I think you told me something about, it was the first race. You came to your first No Prep Kings event. Hey, you're going to be with Jim Howe. This is Jim Howe.
Yeah. And he was not happy.
Work together.
There was no part of Jim Howe that was happy. So when Sam brought me to the first event, which was in Boise, was my hometown, and he had me bring out my Nissan GTR. Well, that car's a 7-second quarter-mile prep car, right? So, it runs 490 in the 8th or whatever. And so, we come out there and Sam puts me in the room and they do all the, the green screen stuff and this and that. And he's like, hey, you're going to be on Team Detroit. And he takes me all the way down to the end, right, where Jim is. And we walk up and he introduces. And, of course, Jim's super happy, right, that he's got a teammate for this race because Detroit didn't have anybody else. And I tell Jim, he's like, hey, man, what kind of car do you got? And I told him, I said, well, I got a Nissan GTR. And all of the color drained out of Jim's face. And he just looks at Sam and he looks at me. And at that moment, I was like, fuck. Right. Of course, I go out there and get just smoked at every race. Right. But me and Jim hit it off, our personalities are a little bit alike and we have a lot of the same likes and dislikes. And so, it worked out great, and you go, a lot of this, I got to attribute to Jim Howe. When I went to build the car, like we built that car in 3 months. Like there's not a lot of people in the world that can build a no prep car or somebody that could build a no prep car in 3 months. Jim already had a car lined up at David Monday, which David Monday is one of the most epic car builders in the world, I feel like. Jim said, okay, I'll give you my spot. I'll let you build your car first. My car will come behind it because I already have the Warden. So, that was a huge deal right there. What guy, on a TV show takes his spot, gives it to a newbie that's a nobody. And, David Monday built the most epic GTR on the planet. I remember that when I decided to build a GTR, there was a lot of cuss words. There was a lot of FUs. There was a lot of days that they were very unhappy, right? Because we had to take a real GTR there, tear it apart, make the car, and then do all that in 3 months. And, we were, of course, trying to make the first race, but we ended up at the second. But, I have a lot of things as a driver I need to work on, right? It's my first year. I had some red light issues, I had a tranny brake issue, but I came out and I did really well for my first year and, I'm only going to get better. And, a lot of that, of course, is contributed to David Monday, who built the most epic car on the planet, to Jim Howe, who is the tuner and runs the motor program, the Howe Motorsports Hemi. And so, all those guys really made me look good, if you want to be honest about it. They really did.
Nice. What would you consider that coming into this year, a down year individually? What would you consider a down year compared to last year?
If I placed anything less than seventh where I placed last year, right? Me and Jim talked about it going into this year. Our goal is to put that blue car and that gold car, or that orange car in the finals every round. Like if you don't show up at a No Prep Kings event and you don't think you can win every event, you should not be there. If you don't believe in I believe in my heart that my car is going to be in every finals. Now, of course, that's probably not going to happen, but you have to believe that, right? I believe that me and Jim's car's some of the fastest cars there, and we've proven that, so everybody knows that, right? But if you don't believe that, you shouldn't be running Street Outlaws.
Yeah. Like you said, it was your first year. We got to see John Odom, the person. I think a lot of your fans really got to see the authentic side of you this past year. And now this off season's been a little different. I've noticed a lot more shit talking going on.
Listen, this is Street Outlaws. It's not Street Snowflakes, right?
Exactly.
Our job is to recreate a little bit of banter with the drivers, get people excited. I make a few posts here and there and people start losing their mind and turn into snowflakes and want to cry and whine. And I'm like, geez, I'm making fun of Stevie Fast and Lyle Barnett. That's not even on the damn show because the people on the show are too snowflake to take any bullshit. Like, this is not Street Snowflakes, it's Street Outlaws. There ain't that. So anyways, let's get started on that. But, our job as actors, right? It's a TV show about racing. And 99% of those guys forget about that. It's a TV show about racing. And what people watch on a TV show is the drama, the excitement, right? And it drives me absolutely crazy. The good thing for me is the people that are in charge of me think it's a great job, think I'm doing the right thing to keep doing what I'm doing. So I don't really care what they think, if you want to know the truth. I don't care,
Yeah, so it's safe to say we might see a little different side, not a fake side, but a different side of John Odom come this year.
Yeah, at the end of the day, no matter if I'm causing any drama or teasing somebody or somebody's teasing me, at the end of the day, my true personality is if you need something, I'd give you everything in the world. I'd give you the shirt off my back. And, my true personality comes out on camera. You guys see it. When I won some of those, I cried. It was emotional, like time away from my family. People don't understand that doing this it's a really big commitment. And when you work that hard to get to some of these, milestones and you let your finger off the button and you see that green light in the finals, for me, it got really emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm
going to let that stuff show. I don't care.
Yeah. Hell yeah, for sure. And I want to touch base on two things that I saw this offseason so far on social media from you. And one of them I don't really know too much about. So I want to know like how it all started
Yeah.
between you and Stevie Jackson and Lyle Barnett. How did that even come about?
Man, I didn't even know those guys. Like, you're talking about two dudes that want to be on Street Outlaws, that want to be like John Odom, that want to run in Street Outlaws, that want to make the money, they want to have the fame from Street Outlaws. I guess, the first post came from them. They started talking shit about me. He said I wasn't a real driver. I've never been in any races. I wasn't ever going to win a race. And so, this is the cool thing for me, right? I have some of the fastest guys, that run their pro mod stuff, right? You're talking about the newbie on Street Outlaws. I mean, I understand you want to be like me, you want to race like me, you want to be in the invitational like me, but you're not. So you want to call out listen, I got 16 or 15 races I'm going to be at. I'll send you the list. You want to show up, you want to run futures, you want to put your time in, you want to get to the invitational, I'll bust your ass for any amount of money you want to do. Like, you want to be me. Those guys want to be me. They want to be like me. And so, of course, they're going to talk about me, right? Like, it's the best thing in the world for me. I got guys that I don't even know because, we come from the track side of the motorsports world, right? Laguna Seca, Sonoma, we started running track. And I remember all the people that said, a track driver is never going to be a good drag racer. But I feel like it made me an epic drag racer, especially, those cars don't always go straight down the track. There's a lot of sideways stuff in those cars. And I feel like, that made me a great driver. So we don't know a lot about Stevie Fast or Lyle Barnett, right? So when you have guys like that start talking about you and it's your first year, like, it's pretty cool. You have to have haters at that level is pretty friggin' epic. So we think it's funny. We love it. And I understand you guys want to be like me, but put your time in and figure it out. And then we can race and bring some money because I'll take every fucking bit you got.
Yeah, I've seen the back and forth. I think I've seen most of it.
Oh, I love it.
All of the back and forth.
Yeah.
And you were pretty popular on one of their on the Shake and Bake show that they do every Tuesday. You were pretty popular on one of their episodes.
and it's not like it's Ryan Martin who's popular, right? That they're going to go after that's the best in the deal. They go after the new guy, right? And I get it. I get that. Listen, at the end of the day, NHRA is dying. Some of those things are dying. Street Outlaws. I seen some stats the other day that were unreal. I actually sent my producer, like, 8 times more popular than any other racing TV show, 93% more popular than any. I mean, it was unreal to see these stats, right? And at that moment, I realized, all these guys that are in Pro Mod, all these guys, they want to be me. And at the end of the day, or they want to be like me or everybody else racing. And at the end of the day, I'm very humbled. I'm very honored. And I really don't know how I got here, but I did. And it wasn't like I got here and I was 30th on my first year, right? Mm-hmm. Like Ryan Martin, would tell you, nobody ever came out in Street Outlaws in their first year and went to 5 finals and won one of them. There's 40 people in Street Outlaws and 30 of them have probably never been in the top 10, right? And they've been there 5 years. So, I feel like I did a decent job driving. I've got a lot to learn. But when you say I'm not a real race car driver and you say that I never won any of those races, hey, you know what? If hate drives you, have fun, and you can watch me on TV.
For sure. I'll definitely see you on TV, John. That's for sure. Yeah, that. There was one other thing I wanted to ask you about, and it was a video that was posted on your site on Facebook, I think, and Instagram a few weeks back. And I wanted to get it had to do with Stinky Pinky amongst other guys in that video. And I wanted to get, what was your intentions with the video?
Are you talking about the original Stinky Pinky a couple months ago?
Maybe a couple months. Yeah, it was a while back.
So that was a funny video, actually. So we sat down and we were talking about, we like to cause a little drama, right? And we're like, what guy works the hardest that we can spin this off of and tease him, right? Because I think it was it Bowling Green? There was a race that I was at last year. Stinky Pinky was parked across from us. And I watched that guy work on his car for like 3 days straight, morning, noon, and night. He was trying to get it ready. And so when the staff made this video, I've got really great media staff, as you guys see. I mean, we post a lot of stuff. We work really hard at trying to build a brand. And, we get hundreds of followers a day. And, I think I'm one of the 3 verified people on Instagram. Like, that's a big deal. Me, Lizzie, Ryan, maybe somebody else, right? So we've worked really hard in our media to get to where we are today. And so, we were talking about lazy people and not lazy people. And I'm like, well, the hardest working person I know in Street Outlaws is Stinky Peaky. So we made the video and put him in it. And oh my God, dude, I got death threat letters at my house. His wife wrote a whole article about it. Like, she said I was talking about his weight. And I literally was trying to show a funny part of him, being the hardest working guy and talking a little smack. And I mean, the majority of people took it wrong. There's a lot of people that took it right. But, I reached out to Stinky Pinky. I tried to call him and tell him what my intentions were. He didn't take it. And so that's fine. I mean? Obviously, I made a video the other day poking a little fun at him. I'm like, are you going to let your feelings get in the shit? Or are you going to try to pick the best team on Street Outlaws just a few days ago, right? So I'm just kind of poking the bear a little bit. But, at the end of the day, that's our job. Like, Justin Swanstrom's the best at it. I learned a lot from Justin. He gets on there and causes some drama and says some crazy stuff, and people, interact with him. They like that. It's a reality TV show. And so I learned a lot from Justin. And so it's really cool to watch him grow and done what he's done. So that's pretty epic too. So, we've kind of tried to pick our own playbook, our own style. And I mean, it seems to work. I mean, the amount of hate that I get on Instagram on comments is unreal, but I get way more likes than I do hate by the minute. Like, if you go to my heart side of it, I mean, every second I get a like, right? It's epic. So, we feel like we've done a really good job on our side to figure out how to brand us and get our social media side. And, some people are like, man, those comments are horrible. Why do you leave them up? And those are the best things for me. Those are the driving factors. You talk about all these things, and you go to your page and you got 200 likes and go out, work really hard, come from nothing, build yourself to something. And then, who cares what they say? And so, the hate is our biggest motivation, and we really, really love it. So thank you guys for all that.
I agree, John. I think it's hard for some people to understand that this is a TV show before it is drag racing. It's drag racing on a TV show, right?
There you go.
And the only thing that's going to sell and keep it going year after year after year is entertainment, drama. You know what I mean? Good racing. Like, you need those. If you just have good racing, in my opinion, then you have NHRA. You know what I mean?
Turn on Fox News on Sunday and watch nothing on Fox. Just watch racing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's for you. And those are the hardcore racers. Like, I get those, right? But this is Street Outlaws. This is for the average fan who maybe doesn't know the most about drag racing or cars, but loves the entertainment, loves the drama, loves the racing.
Look at the Kardashians and look at NASCAR. Who's got more entertainers, right? Who's got more fans, right?
Exactly.
So if you can add those two in, but gosh, it's almost like, I make a few deals, I make a few jokes, I have a little fun, and it's a meltdown of Street Outlaws. Like, it's like, good God, is it Snowflake World? What we got going on here? You know what I mean? So it's, and I make sure I'm always doing what I do is okay. And the people that are my bosses, they love it. And so, we keep pushing the envelope here and there a little bit. And I don't know. I guess if they got a problem with it, we can deal with it on race day number 1 on June 2nd, or we can figure it out on the track, whatever they want to do. But, at the end of the day, I kind of went from being the laughing stock on the first day we showed up, and on the last race, I was one of 3 people that you did not want to draw. And so, what, at the end of the day, I did my job.
Yep, for sure. I have a little segment now on my show, John, where I read off some stats. I read off a couple good ones about you, and then I read off one you might not want to hear about.
There's way more bad than there is good, so let's start there.
All right, we'll start with the good ones, okay? So there was 15 grade 8 events last year, 15 of them. You only raced in 4 of them, okay? Of those 4, okay, even I should say, even though you only raced in 4, you ended up second in the points earned in the grade 8 to Ryan Martin. So nobody earned as many points as you did, even though you were in 4 of them.
Yeah.
You were second in win percentage in the grade 8 to Ryan Martin. And you were tied for second in the number of grade 8 finals you went to, even though you only were in 4 of them. What do you think about that?
Cool, bro.
Grade 8 was your thing last year, honestly.
Hey, you can call me Kai Kelly. I'm silver, baby. I'm Friday nights. I love you, Kai, by the way. I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah. So for my first year, that's pretty epic, right? So I'll take it. Okay.
Yeah. Another stat. So with the grade 8 and the invitational combined, you were tied for 4th place in going to a total of 5 event finals.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. I mean, you're top 5 and going to the final round. You know what I mean?
On my first year ever.
Amongst everybody.
On my first year ever.
Yes, in your first year ever. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful and humbled. I promise you.
And then here's a stat that I'm sure you're going to try to work better at this year coming up.
Red lighting?
Those 5. Well, that's one thing. Yes. Yeah. Those 5 event finals you went to, you only won one time, man.
That's true. Hey, but you got to get to the finals to win, right? So
yeah.
I appreciate that. I definitely got a lot to work on as a driver. Yes, I do.
And because I love this guy, I want to throw this little one in here. Tony McKinney was 2-0 against you last year, just so you know.
God damn. I love Tony, too. Listen,
Tony,
I'm telling you right now.
Tony's got your number, man.
Damn, Tony. Between him and Justin Swanstrom. Hey, the good thing about it is I was above Justin Swanstrom than the hottest guy in no prep, right? I beat Justin at something finally. Golly. He's kicked my ass all year last year. He's like my but I did beat him. So I feel like I'm on a roll, right? I've already beat him on this deal. The best looking guy in no prep. I was above him there. If we can follow that through the racing, I'm gonna be happy. Listen, there's a few guys. I'm telling you right now, I've talked to Tony a bit. I know he's got a new program. I know he's got a new car. There's a few guys that you got to pay attention to next year, and I feel like Tony McKinney is one of them as far as the guys coming up. And I think he's going to get picked. Second, third round. I think he's somebody to watch. And I'm telling you, if I was a team captain, he would be somebody I'd be fucking paying attention to. I promise you that.
Yeah, and I think if Sam ever sees this, Sam needs to show Tony McKinney more on the show, because that guy is one of the funniest guys I've ever talked to. He's funny, bro.
He's funny.
Hell yeah,
dude, he is hilarious. Yeah. He's funny. Like, to have him be on your team and the humor he would bring and the fun would be pretty awesome. So, I don't know Tony McKinney really well, but I got a lot of respect for that guy, and I think he works hard on his program. So, Brandon James is the same thing. I feel like Brandon James is going to be stupid fat. I don't know him very well, but when you pay attention to that guy and watch, I'm loud and boisterous, but I spend a lot of time watching. He's like right there. I'm telling you, that guy gets his program figured out. He's going to be somebody to watch. I promise you.
Hell yeah. Tony's in the comments right now. He just said,
"What's up, Tony?"
Thanks, y'all. I don't know if you can see it, but
no, I can't see it.
John, if you want, we're gonna take a couple questions from the people who are watching right now.
Okay.
You can, if you want to look. I'm gonna play a quick video of my sponsors, and then if you want to look at the comments, can you see the comments on your phone there?
I can't for some reason. I cannot. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I can see them now. Okay.
Okay.
Can I talk while you're playing the deal, or?
No.
Okay, I'll wait till you're done. All right, thanks.
Are you looking for a quick access firearm storage system that has a variety of access control levels based on your needs? Well, head on over to DoorGunnerUSA.com, a family-owned business who makes their products 100% right here in the USA. CajunHeritage.com is the place to go for authentic Cajun flavor. Rouge seasonings provide a high-quality, pure, and affordable option when you're looking for that South Louisiana taste. For any and all No Prep Racing news, not just Street Outlaws, go to NoPrep.com or the No Prep Racing page on Facebook. This is the #1 source for all things No Prep, so be sure to check it out.
All right, we back?
We're back.
Awesome. So I'm looking at some of the comments.
I can't see you, John.
Oh, you can't see me? Is that better?
Nope.
I can see you. I can see you with that big ass smile.
John,
I can see you.
I can't. You are black screen.
Yeah, I can see the comments.
You can come back. You do that. Sorry about that. You know how it is going live. Sometimes it just doesn't work. I think it was the video I played. I might have messed it all up. I don't know. I'm not tech savvy enough to figure this out. You cannot see John. Yeah, no, you can't. He's not here. There we go.
There.
John, I can see you.
Nice. I can see you the whole time, but
sorry,
all
man.
Right, so if I click on the chat, can you still see me or no?
Yes.
Okay. So here's a few chats. John looks better now. Nice. Lyle and Stevie would join Street Outlaws in a heartbeat if you would let them race on Invitational. Well, listen, just like me, got to spend your time in futures, got to work your way up. We don't care how fast you are in no prep or in pro mod. You know, I didn't go to pro mod. I didn't start making videos about how I could come to pro mod and wipe everybody's ass, right? So spend your time, come through Invitational. Just because you're kind of good at what you do on your side doesn't mean you're going to be great on no prep. It's completely different races. So, you know, and once they do that, then they can get to me. I know everybody wants to be me, but figure your shit out. So Stevie Fast will donkey stomp your ass. Well, he probably would if I went to pro mod, but we're not there. So sorry. Appreciate the kindness. Somebody needs to turn down their volume. I think that's me, I guess. John Odom. You like John Cena. I can't see you. John Scrotum is a joke. He should never compare himself to Stevie Fast or Lyle, and to talk trash about Stinky. He is a loser. Well, I didn't talk shit about Stevie and Lyle. They started it, okay? So make sure you get your fucking facts straight before you start talking shit, bro. John, what's your favorite thing to eat at Golden Corral? Jimmy, that's not funny. So I'm OCD. Like if I showed you my house right now, everything is perfect, right? And I was younger. I went to a Golden Corral and I watched some kid stick his hands in each of the different things at Golden Corral. So I will never eat there again. And every time I'm with Jimmy Howe, Jim's son, he wants to go to Golden Corral. He just does it to mess with me. But no, that's never going to happen. Oh, geez. You should come to Kansas. We'd love to come to Kansas, Lori. What's my favorite track? I like Bowling Green, Kentucky a lot. I mean, I ran Ryan there, but I like the old school setting. There's a lot of things I love about Bowling Green, Kentucky, but you know, any day on a track for me is pretty epic. So I'm very grateful for that. How old is your daughter? I have two. The little one is 4 and the older one is 21. So, yeah, let's see. What does John Odom know who's behind the Regulators Facebook account? No, I do not. John, what's your favorite thing to eat? Jimmy, stop asking me that. He got all excited and yeah. So, you know, I got a lot of haters and I got a lot of great fans. You know, I see the hate every day, right? But to get comments or get DMs and messages about, hey, you know, I brought my kids to see you and you let them sit in your car and you gave them a free sticker. And every night they go to bed, they look at the sticker and they talk about how they love John Odom, the driver, and how you were so kind and so nice. And you gave this person a free shirt or you helped this kid on his birthday. You know, those are the things that matter the most. Those are the real comments that I get that nobody sees. I don't tell anybody about that. You know, for me, the hate is a good driving factor, but for the love of what I do and to make a positive influence in somebody's life at the end of the day, that's definitely my goal.
That's awesome, John. That is awesome. Well, sir, thank you so much for coming on. As always, man. I will be at that first race. Can't wait to meet you. I never got to meet you last year, but talking on the phone with you and stuff, man, you're an awesome dude. Can't wait to see what this
it's an honor to be on your show. You know, you do a lot of amazing stuff, and we're very grateful for what you do. And you know, everybody loves the stat guy, and sometimes when we get your stats, we're a little pissed off, but at the end of the day, they're real. So we got to deal with it. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your show and what you do, and excited to see you this year. Have a great night.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Take it easy.